Good afternoon to all. Welcome to online lecture on joint venture account. So previous class also we discussed the differences between the joint venture account and partnership firm account and explained the definition of joint venture account, characteristics of joint venture account. Now today we will more focus on solve the problems on joint venture account. Joint venture is an association between two or more persons, as we know, and also it is a temporary partnership between the members. It is in a temporary partnerships. So it comes to end at the completion of the joint venture. So it does not require any specific name of the firm. Joint venture account does not require any specific name of the firm. The members in the joint venture are treated as a co-ventures, but the parties in a partnership are called as a partners. Some difference, a little bit of difference are there compared with the joint venture with partnership accounts. And also, similar type of characters are there between the joint venture and consignment, but different differentiate say. Some of the difference are joint venture account and consignment are co-ventures are like a partners, but parties concerned in a consignment like principal and agent. The differences between the consignment and joint venture. The parties in consignment are like a principal and agent, but in a joint venture, parties are known as a co-ventures. Business is a temporary partnership. In case of joint venture, is a temporary partnership, and therefore the relationship comes to an end as soon as the venture is completed. But the relation between the consignor and the consignee may continue over a long period. Okay, so the differences between the joint venture and consignment, joint venture and partnership, and the meaning of joint venture already explained in previous lecture, and also solve one problem on no separate set of books for the joint venture. Accounting procedure also explained. So here three types of methods are there to recording the joint venture accounts. One is no separate set of books for the joint venture. No separate set of books. No separate set of books for joint venture. Second thing is separate set of books for joint venture. And third one is record of transactions in the books of one of the co-venture. Record the transactions in the books of one of the co-ventures. The first one is no separate set of books are maintained for the joint venture. That means all the co-ventures maintain the books. All the co-ventures maintain the books. Under this method, I think two problems are completed. Today, we will focus on one more problem on no separate set of books method in joint venture account. Okay, first read the problem, then after I will do it. So, Pranav of Hyderabad and Vamshi of Rajamandri entered into a joint venture to consign cotton bales to Pranith of Coimbatore to be sold on their giant risk. Pranav sent 200 bales at 50 rupees each and pays freight and expenses 900. Vamshi sent 150 bales valued at 48 each and pays expenses 700. Pranav draw a bill on Praneeth for rupees 6,000 for 2 months and discounted it with the bankers at 5%. He remitted off of the proceeds to Vamshi. All the bills reached Coimbatore on time. Pranit sold 300 bills at 8 each. He charged 4% as selling expenses and commission and deducted 1,000 rupees as other expenses. He remitted the balance amount to Pranav by the demand draft. He also returned unsold 50 bales to Pranav. The co-ventures Pranav and Vamshi settled their accounts and the joint venture was closed. Unsold stock at 50 each was taken by Pranav. Record the transactions in the books of Pranav and Vamshi. So in this problem, here two parties, two co-ventures are there. One is Pranav, another one is Vamshi. First, we will do the problems. We will solve the problem, or we will record the transactions in the books of Pranav. First, we have to write the journal entries in the books of Pranav. Then we have to write the journal entries in the books of Vamshi. Okay. First transaction is what? Pranav of Hyderabad and Vamshi of Rajahmundry entered into a joint venture to consign cotton bales to Pranith of Coimbatore. Pranith of Coimbatore to be sold on the giant risk. Here one more party is one Pranith, Vamshi, Pranay and Pranith. Okay, right. So three parties are there. So to be sold on the giant risk. Here Pranav sent 200 bales. Here Pranav sent. What is general entry? If goods contributed by co-venture. In the books of Pranav, we don't write the name Pranav. Generally, co-venture account are to goods account. But in the books of Pranav, we don't write the name Pranav. So, right, you have to just only joint venture account data to goods account. Joint venture account data to goods account. Being goods supplied. Okay. Then next thing is expenses. Pranav spent 200 bills at each 50 rupees. 200 into 50, that is 10,000. Then after what happened? Pays freight and expenses 900. Pranav paid freight and expenses account. What is general entry? So just you have to write joint venture account data to cash or bank account. Joint venture account data to cash or bank account. Narration like being expenses incurred on joint venture. Being expenses incurred on joint venture. The next thing is what Vamshi sent 150 bills valued at 48 each. Here Vamshi also sent the goods. How much? 150 bales. 150 bales at the rate of 48. 150 into 48. So what is general entry? In the books of Pranav, you have to write the general entry. What is general entry? If any co-venture contributing goods, the supply the good, the general entry is what? Joint venture account. Joint venture account data to like a goods account, but here joint venture account data to Vamshi account because of this books related to Pranav. So that we have to use the party name. Joint venture account data to Vamshi account being goods supplied by Vamshi. Okay, so that is how much, like 150 into 48 rupees. Then pay expenses, and the expenses also paid. So the same general entry, joint venture account data to Vamshi account. But if the any expenditure paid by Pranav, the general entry is joint venture account data to cash account. But here the expenditure paid by other co-ventures, so that we have to use the name of the co-venture. So joint venture account data to Vamshi account, that is 700 rupees. Then Pranav draw a bill on Pranith. Pranav draw a bill on Pranith for rupees 6,000. So here we received the bill. We received the bill, that is bills receivable account data to Pranith. We received the bill from Pranith. We received the bill from Pranith. What is general entry? Bills receivable account data to Pranith account. Bills receivable account data to Pranith account. Narration being bill drawn on Pranith. Okay. So after that, for 2 months and discounted it with the bank at such 5%. So here bill is discounted 6%. 6,000 into 5%, that is 300. So at the time of drawn the bill, general entry is bills receivable account debtor to Pranit account. But at the time of discounting the bill, the general entry like cash account debtor, joint venture account debtor to bills receivable account. Joint venture account debtor to bills receivable account. So here joint venture is a discounted amount. So just like 300 rupees, and how much amount we received? 5,700, but total bills receivable is 6,000. Your bill is discounted. What is general entry? Just we can write the general entry cash account debtor, joint venture account debtor to as bills receivable account. So here 6,000 is there. Bills receivable amount is 6,000. Out of 6,000, 5% is interest amount. 6,000 into 5%, that is 300 is the discounted amount. So here what is general entry? Cash account debtor 5,700, joint venture account 300, to bills receivable account 6,000. Okay, this is the general entry for discounting the bill. Then after what happened? So he remitted half of the proceeds to Vamshi. He remitted half of the proceeds to Vamshi. Then all the bills reached. All the bills reached Coimbatore on time. So before that, first he remitted half of the proceed to Vamshi. Half of the amount. So total amount 5,700. We received 5,700. 5,700 divided by 2. 5,700 divided by 2. That is 2,850. So out of 2,850, out of 5,700, half of the amount remitted to Vamshi. He remitted off proceeds to Vamshi. So what is general entry? Cash goes outside, like Vamshi account debtor to cash account. Vamshi account debtor to cash account 2,850. Actual amount is 5,700, but out of 5,700, half of the amount sent to Vamshi. Okay, that is 2,850. Next, Pranit sold here 300 bales at 80 each. Pranit sold 300 bales at 80 each. So here 300 into 8. So that is 24,000 is the total sales amount. What is general entry? Pranit account debtor to joint venture account. Pranit account debtor to joint venture account. Here joint venture amount is, that is the sales amount is 24,000 being goods sold by Pranit. Then next what happened? So 300 into 8, like that, this is over. He charged 4% selling expenses and commission, and deducted 1,000 other expenses. 1,000 is the other expenses. Then 4%, being a commission to both 4%. How much 4% on sales? The total is 2,400. 24,000. 24,000 is the sales amount. So 24,000. How much percentage? Like 4%. 4% is the commission. 960. 960 is what? Commission. Being commissioned to Pranit at 4%. And expenses, and also paid expenses amount 1,000. 1,000 plus 960. The total 1,960 amount, that is the amount charged or commission charged to commission charged to whom? Pranit. Okay, so what is general entry? After charge the commission to Pranit, very simple, they have to write the general entry. Joint venture account debtor to Pranit account. Joint venture account debtor to Pranit account. The amount is was 1960. 960 is the commission amount. and 1000 is the other expenses amount. 1000 is other expenses amount. Okay. Then next, what happened? He remitted the balance amount to Pranay. He remitted the balance amount to Pranay. So, and unsold stock also there. How much unsold stock is there? Actually, send how many goods? 200. How many goods? How many bales sent by Pranav? Pranav of Hyderabad and Amsha of Rajamandri entered a joint venture account. Consign cotton bills to Pranit. So here Pranay sent 200 bales in 50 each. 200 bales, 50 each. Out of 200 bales, how many bales sold? Already clearly mentioned. Out of 200, but here Pranay sold 300 bales at 80 each. Here 200 is the provided by Pranav and 150 Vamshi sent 150. Total 350. Total 350. Out of 350, 300 is sold. The remaining is 50. Actual available 200 so contributed by co-ventures is how much? One co-venture is like 200 tables, 200 bills, and another co-venture is provided 150. Total 350. But out of 350, 300 unit bales are sold. So unsold how much is 50 units? 50 units at the rate of 50 rupees. You have to take cost price only. So 50 into 50, 2500 is the 50 into 50, 2500 is the sold, unsold value. Please tell me the stock journal entry. Anyone? So general stock entry, purchase account data to joint venture. Purchase account data to joint venture account. This is in general entry for unsold stock taken up. Unsold stock taken up. So that's why he remitted the balances and he also returned unsold 50 bills to Pranav. Pranav is received. So that we have to write Pranav account data here, like a Pranav account data, a purchase account data to joint venture account. Being unsold goods, what is general entry? Purchase account data to joint venture account. Then half of the amount here, like we have to write the journal entry for profit and loss account. You prepare the joint venture account and find out the profit. So here after preparation of joint venture account, the profit is like 5,440. So 5,440 for this is total amount. A profit and loss account amount, half of the amount distributed to both. One is Pranay, another is Vamshi. So how much amount belongs to Pranay and how much amount belongs to Vamshi? So here Pranav, how much amount? Half of the amount. The balance is how much? 5,440. 5,440 by 2. 5,440 by 2. 270, 2,720. 2,720. This is the profit and loss account that should be transferred to profit and loss account and one more co-venture that is Vamshi account. Okay. Unsold good is there, profit and loss account there, then received amount. So the co-venture Pranav and Vamshi settled their accounts and the joint venture was closed. Unsold stock 50 each was taken by Pranav, already taken Pranav account 50 regard the transactions. Okay, so if any amount is there, that should be sent to by Pranit. We can receive the amount from Pranit, being cash received from him. At that time, we have to write journal entry bank account data to Pranit account, and if any amount paid to Vamshi, just you have to write Vamshi account data to cash account. Okay, so this is the solution for joint venture account. Let us discuss with formats. Yeah. So is it visible? So the first journal entry is what? Joint venture account at to goods account, which means the first journal entry is joint venture account at to goods account, which means the goods supplied by Pranav account. So here this amount is supplied by Pranav account. Then cash. Then cash means here 900 is the what? Freight expenses. Then cash. Expenses. Second one is expenses. Expenses incurred or expenses amount paid by Pranav. And the third thing is what? Expenses is over. Then another co-venture supply the goods. That is Vamshi account 7,200. Then at the same time, not only supply the goods and also paid expenses. Expenses amount is 700. So here two items which are related to Pranav and two items which are related to Vamshi. Here the two transactions are, one is related to goods and second one is expenditure incurred by Pranav. And third journal entry is what? Goods supplied by Vamshi. And fourth journal entry is what? Expenditure paid by Vamshi. Expenditure paid by Vamshi. Then draw a bill. So then draw a bill. What is journal entry? Joint venture account at to Vamshi account. Joint venture account at to Vamshi. That is the draw a bill. Then after expenses incurred. That is the 700 is the expenses. First one is the bill amount. Second one is expenses amount. Second one is expenses amount. First, the goods contributed by Pranav, then expenditure paid by Pranav, then goods supplied by Vamshi, and also here bills drawn on Vamshi, then expenditure paid by Vamshi, goods supplied, commission paid. There are two items are there. Then bills receivable, drawn a bill. How much bills receivable? Actually, 6,000 worth bills receivable accounted out to Pranith account. But here, just we have to write at the time of discounting the bill. So at the time of discounting the bill, how much amount? 300 is the joint venture account. So cash account data already recorded journal entry. Cash account data, discount account data to joint venture account. So here discount how much is 300 rupees. That is the bills receivable amount. Then one more important thing is commission received by Pranith. That is a 4% commission received by Pranith and also expenditure paid by Pranith. 4% commission on sales is how much, like 1960. Yeah, 960 plus 1000 is the expenses. 1000 is the expenses. 1000 plus 960. 1960 is the expenditure paid by Pranith. Okay. Going to sales point of view, just only we have to write one journal entry for credit side of the joint venture account. That is Pranith account data to joint venture. Who sold this? Who sold this? Pranith. Pranith sold these items. So that we have to write journal entry. That is Pranith account data to joint venture account. Pranith account data to joint venture account. So go to credit side of joint venture and we have to write Pranith account 24,000. 24,000 is the next. One more important is unsold stock. Just at the time of stock, we have to write purchase account data to joint venture account. Here, how to find out the stock amount? Stock account. So actually, goods supplied by Pranav. How many bills? How many bills supplied by Pranav? Here, Pranav supplied 200 bills. Pranav supplied 200 bills. And how much amount, how much goods supplied by Vamshi. First is 200 units by Pranay, and Vamshi also supplied goods, that is 150, total 350. Out of 350, here sold, already sold details are given. Only how many bales are sold? 300 bales at the rate of 80 each. So 300 bales are sold. The remaining 50 is unsold goods, that is stock. 50 bales. 50 bales multiply with 25 rupees. Or how much amount is given in the same? 50 rupees. Each bale cost is 50 rupees. That is 2500 is the what? Closing stock account. So here closing stock we use purchase account. Then balancing this account. So credit side the total amount is like 26,500, but debit side amount is very less. The difference amount is what? 5,440. 5440. 5,440. So here 5,440 divided into two parts because of the profit sharing ratio is 50-50 percentage in case of absence of any agreement. So absence of agreement, the year co-ventures are distributing their profits equally. So here profit and loss account how much amount? 50 percentage, and the remaining 50 percentage profit belongs to Vamshi. So here 5,440, 5,440 divisible by 2, that is 2,720. 2,720 is what? Profit belongs to Pranita and Vamshi account. So here, in case of in the books of Pranav, we don't write the name of Pranav. Instead of Pranav, we have to write only profit and loss account. Then you have to write Vamshi account. Then we have to write Vamshi account. After this account, the joint venture account will be closed. Joint venture account is tallied. Okay. Then go to one more account, that is Vamshi account. Another is Pranit account. Vamshi is there, Pranit is there. So here Vamshi point of view. Vamshi point of view. Vamshi supplied the goods. Vamshi supplied the goods. Vamshi paid the expenses. Vamshi paid expenses. Then the profit amount also distributed to Vamshi. But debit side point of view, debit side in the books of Vamshi, so we have to write one thing is cash received. Cash received. So cash account data will Vinita account. Vinita Vamshi account, cash received from Vamshi. So that cash account data to Vamshi account. Vamshi account data to cash, that amount should be taken debit side. One is cash, and one more important general entry is if any difference balance is there, that should be settled by the Vamshi. Vamshi account data to cash. Vamshi account settled by a Pranav, that amount is paid to Vamshi. Okay, let us discuss the format of Vamshi. So here Vamshi role is just only receive the goods, receive the goods. Here Vamshi also supplied. Vamshi also supplied the goods. So here how much worth of goods supplied by Vamshi? 7,200. 7,200 worth of goods supplied by Vamshi. Yeah. And one more thing, expenditure also paid by Vamshi, that is 700, and cash amount, that is belongs to 2,770 is 2,770 giant venture. The difference is 2,720 is the giant venture amount. The amount 2,770 is a giant venture amount. Then the difference amount should be transferred to Pranay account, that is generated Vamshi account to cash account. So in the books of Vamshi, we have to write credit side first is contributed. First is contributed amount. Second thing is expenditure paid by the Vamshi. And third one is profit and loss account. Three items should be recorded in credit side of the Vamshi account. If you want to prepare Vamshi account, just credit side. First thing is sales. Your goods supplied by Vamshi. Second is expenditure paid by Vamshi. Third one is profit and loss account. But going to debit side, just you have to take cash amount we receive cash. The amount received. How much amount we received cash? 2,850. 2,850 amount we received. 2,850 amount we received. So that is the debit side amount. 2,850. Okay, 2,850. And one more amount is the difference amount. The difference amount is 7,770. That is being the final settlement of joint venture. Being the final settlement of joint venture. So going to Pranit account. Here, Vamshi account, three items per credit side, two items is the debit side. One for that is the cash amount received, and second one is final settlement amount received. Two amounts are received by Vamshi. One is like a 2,850. Yeah, that is the amount belongs to bill discounted bill off of the amount received by Vamshi. So that the then journal entry is what Vamshi account data to cash account, and the final settlement also received Vamshi account data to cash account. Just 5 transactions you have to enter in the books of in the account in accounts of Vamshi account. 5 transactions you have to record it in Vamshi account. 3 for credit side and 2 for debit side. Credit side items are first one is like supply of goods, how much worth of goods supplied by Vamshi and Vamshi expenditure. And one more important is profit and loss amount. Profit and loss amount. But going to debit side, how much amount received for final settlement and how much amount received regarding to bills amount half of the amount remitted by Pranay to Vamshi. Okay, this is the information about Vamshi. Going to Pranay. So here Pranit account. So debit side, just we have to write one transaction, that is the sales. We have to write one transaction, that is sales. Sale by who here? The party, that is Pranit. Pranit is sold the goods. Pranit account. In the case of Pranit, credit side sales. And debit side, bills accepted. That is amount, bills receivable amount. That is 6,000 rupees bill accepted. And then here commission received. Commission and expenditure 1960. Commission is a 960 and expenditure is 1,960. These two amount and one more is the difference amount should be paid. 24,000 out of 24,000, 6,000 amount belongs to a bills receivable and 1960 is amount belongs to commission and expenditure. The remaining portion, that is 16,040 rupees paid to returned by Pranit, that is bank account. Bank account data to Pranit account. Bank account data to Pranit account. Okay. So today we solve the problem on joint venture accounts and especially recorded the journal entries in one co-venture account. So far we recorded journal entry in the books of Pranav account. The same journal entry will be followed. We have to record the journal entries in another co-venture account, that is Vamshi account. Regarding to Vamshi account, just you have to write Pranav account. Instead of goods and instead of cash, we have to use Pranav. and then very simple, instead of Vamshi we have to use goods and cash, then the remaining is same, like that. Okay, here in the books of Vamshi we don't write the name of the Vamshi in the books of Vamshi chant venture. In the books of Vamshi there is no need to write the Vamshi name in giant venture account. Okay, I think we will do more problems on next coming classes. So at your home, you solve the problem. You will be solve the same problem. Then automatically you can understand all the problems. Okay, if anybody having any doubts regarding to giant venture, please ask me. I will clarify that. Otherwise, tomorrow again I will focus on problems on giant venture account. Okay, thank you.